And welcome to today's episode of this series looking into creating the movement in Cannon Fodder or Command & Conquer or any other game of that type. So what you want to do is click somewhere and get the unit or whatever to move to that point. So we're using the path movement object, advanced path movement object, whatever it's called, and it's going really well. It was up until yesterday where we just put too many nodes down and it just did not like it. And so we've kind of found a limitation with this, but I'm going to keep going with this object because doing the algorithms myself may be beyond my abilities to cover that within the limited time frame I have for these videos. So maybe later on we can work out the exact algorithm and maybe do it ourselves, but we're going to keep powering on. So we have found that the limitation for us, I think, is where we're currently at. Let's have a look. So advanced path movement, and we are currently at 50, 10, 10, and it seemed happy with that and seemed to be okay with that. But as soon as we went to 20, it crashed. Didn't like it. Or it just took forever. So if I click, it's still trying to work it out. Wow. That is not desirable because you kind of want it to work out straight away. And this is why like optimizing things is going to be really important. Okay, so if we're stuck by 10 by 10, we need to figure out how many tiles we're going to have. So if we do, I don't know, like a 600 by 500, does that work? 600 by 500. And what are the tile sizes? Well, let's just work this out. Whoops. I've done it 600 by 500 in the wrong place. Should do it there and then, yeah, there we go. And let's figure out what tile size I'm going to do. Just kind of playing around. So let's do 50. Let's do the tile size as 50. And I'm just going to have like grass here. If I fill it in. Yeah, and then let's just put some dark grassy bits in. So it looks more like grass. I mean, this is the best grass that you've ever seen, obviously. Everyone is jealous of my grass making skills. I'm going to try and put the actives at the top left. That's generally what I do. The hotspots. And we're going to have this sort of covering everywhere. And so when we're creating the nodes, I think we'll also create the background, and actually, there's a create at point, isn't there? Create object at. So creating this object, and then it will be the fast loops, which I've got completely the wrong way around. But we're not going to go into that. So is it cols and then rows? Probably. That's the opposite of what I want. And just layer 1, right? Let's see whether that works. Obviously, I need to times it by 50 or times it by the width. Just in case I change it. You might go, oh, shouldn't it be times by the height on this one? Well, the width will always be the height because there'll be square tiles. So just easier to keep it the same. There we go, perfect. And we need to say always bring our character to front. So order to front. Cool. Has that crashed? Wow, that's crashed even now. It's not going well. That's not going well. Right. Oh, because it's still at 2020. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So, because I was halfway through doing this, wasn't I? So what did I say it was? the width and height of this? Does it not tell me on there? What's the width and height of this? So it's 50. So I want everything to be 50 based, which I think it is already. I think I've switched these around. So 50, and then how many 50s are there in 600? So there's 8 and 10, right? Is that right? No, I mean 12 and 10, obviously, duh. So it's 12 across and 10 down. So the nodes will be 12 across and 10 down. That should fit the entire play area. Has it crashed? Oh wow, that's really slow. That's super slow. Where's it going now? Oh, it's going through all the instructions I've done. That's really strange. That's interesting. I think it's actually a mistake I've made. So if I do it 10 by 10, it will work. Because I think I've done the wrong loop index somewhere. Or maybe everywhere. Yeah, I think I have. Because yet again, I'm mixing rows and columns up, probably. Oh, let's just keep it as 10 and 10. So I think that this should say columns 2, and this should say rows. No, that's right. I think I've mixed up some of these though. Plus, yeah, this should be Y, shouldn't it? That should be Y. Because it's the, no, that's X, that's right. But they're all node amount X. There's no node amount Y's in here. But actually it shouldn't matter what node amount Y is. I think that's all good. This is where we need our string here, so let's move that to the front. Do a bit of debugging. So 5 works, yeah, so it works when it's 10, but when it's 12, it's not quite right. So it'll work on the top row, but then when I go down, it will get really confused and it will crash. So maybe the crash is not to do with the amount, it's to do with the fact I've done something stupid. So if I deactivate that and literally just, well, copy and paste it and just have the string, let's see what happens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But it should only go up to, yeah, it should go up to 12. Perfect. And then these are 4, 5. Why are these 4? That shouldn't be 4. It's adding 3 here. Why is it adding 3? Because I've not updated this. Okay. Go through all this stuff. Right. Let's copy that. And let's edit that and paste it in there as a string. Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That works. Oh, hang on. What was that? Was that -5? Gone up a bit too much, right? So 1 and then 11. That's not right. It should be adding 12. Okay, so that's wrong. So why is it adding 11? Because it should be times the x, shouldn't it? Just clicked the wrong thing, didn't I? Right. Let's So it should be the X that it does it with. So let's reactivate this, but I'm going to keep these on different lines in case I need to just see what it's doing before it does it. There we go. Simple mistake. But then when I click anywhere else, it really doesn't like it. So we might have found a limit there. Again. Okay. So let's ignore the fact it crashes. Well, let's just click once. So when you click once, it's fine. So is it that I'm clicking too quickly? No, I've just clicked once. And it's just taking ages. It's fine with some of them. This one's quite an easy one, but this one's a little bit more complicated. Maybe not. This one? No. Happy with that. Down here. This one here, it's not happy with. It's taking a little bit longer. Trying to work it out. Going through the algorithm. So what it does is it starts here and then goes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So the longer the distance you click, the more it's got to work through. It does eventually. Wow. That's not going to be ideal for a game, is it? So it seems that when it's over here and you click here, that's the issue. Is it's taking a very long time to get there. Seems to favour going right. So it's still churning it out, still trying to work out how to get there. Taking its sweet time. And then eventually Windows looks at the exe and goes, hang on, you're taking up too much RAM here and you're not really getting anywhere. So you'll get a prompt going up going, are you sure you want to still wait for this? So if I click the opposite of that, it does it pretty much straight away. So it seems to have a real problem going this way, but it works out eventually. So it could be an issue with the algorithm. The algorithm's looking to the right first and then looking to the left. But I don't know whether we've got an issue here and it's creating all these. No, I don't know whether it. No, I don't really know what the problem is. It's really frustrating because I want to be on a point now where I'm removing nodes. And I think that's what I do. Yeah, I think I'm going to start removing nodes. Okay, so we know with all these, I think we've done quite a few bits. Let's remove nodes next video. And let's have a look at what's happening with these, because this should be, if these are 50 each, and we're doing these 12 times, this should fill up the whole of this, unless I've got it the wrong way around. I don't think I have. Let's try and do it the other way around. I don't think it's right. Does that work? That seems to work. Why does that work? Okay, yeah. So I'm doing the X coordinates for the rows and then the Y coordinates for the columns. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's see if that works. No, it's still taking ages. Like it does work. The algorithm's sound. Down here will not be happy. Maybe up here will be alright. Yeah, up here seems fine. Over here it's really happy with. Seems to work that out straight away. The closer it is that you click to it, the quicker it will be. So I won't have a problem when you click nice and... Oh, I've said that and now it's jinxed it. Seems to have a real problem with that now. Yeah, doesn't like that. And this is the problem, I suppose, with doing extensions, is you can't go into the code and try and fix it or try and optimize it or try and find a way that we can use it for what we're looking at doing. But this is always also the risk of doing these videos, is that it works on a small scale, but as soon as you try and make it, make the distance between the nodes less and less and less, it becomes a real problem. But yeah, it's dead. It's gone. So I don't know whether this thing is designed to be used with a game where it's not, you don't use it as a grid, but you use it as possible points. Like maybe I'm trying to think how this would be useful as kind of a point and click thing that you can only go certain places, because on a point and click thing normally, or in the really old school ones, you could only go across certain places. I'm a bit like annoyed that this doesn't scale, because I would have thought with a computer like this especially, this would be very easy to scale. But you can see that it's still, it's crashed. It's just not happy with it. So maybe the answer is that one needs to create one's own algorithm for this. But I've seen the equations and they scare me to try and convert them into this. But then again, like, we've created Tetris from scratch, so I think if we can do that, we feel like we can do anything. But we're going to leave it there. What we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to ignore the obvious issues with this, and we're going to plow on. And what I want to do is I want there to be an obstacle in the middle, and so we can test whether this algorithm or this object allows us to go around things. I'm hoping there's people in the comments going, look, actually you can do this and it will make it all perfect. Or there's people in the comments going, why would you use that object for that thing? No, of course that's not going to work. That would be daft. So please leave those comments and be kind. But click like if you like this video. If you want to see more from us, click subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.